Hey guys, we just finished round 4 successfully. 2 wins.
Yeah, 2 wins. This is the second time that we've done it. Even number round seems to be our friend. Odd numbers, well,
Yeah.
to be decided.
Round 2 and round 4.
Round 2, round 4, that means round 6, so anything is up for grabs tomorrow. I'm playing up, but I think, are you playing?
I'm also playing
You're
up.
playing
Tomorrow I'll be playing Grandmaster Helgi, right?
Helgi, yeah. He's a World Cup qualifier through the zonal tournament, I believe, or president's nominee, or whatever the specific spot was. But nonetheless, I think the games in the tournament really kick off tomorrow because there's only 5 people with 4, so that race towards the top, it's going to start to get pretty steep.
That's right. We've got a lot of our favorites. Anish Giri,
Right.
that's 4.
I think the Gerdelius-Gawain Jones game, though, that's going to be the game to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. Although I feel like they're friends, so we might see a quick draw.
Well, we might see a quick draw.
Never
but,
know.
I feel like 4 for 4, you have to start and really, if you want to catch the Giri train. I mean, if Giri draws and you have a half point up, that looks pretty good.
Right,
and then I think Abhijit Gupta also has 4, but he has a tough task with Black against Draken.
Yeah, but he's a reigning champ.
He is the reigning champ, so
Cannot count him out.
He's exactly where he belongs right now. And okay, I'm not in that company. I'm 2 out of 4, but you're only 3 out of 4, so that you're not too far.
I'm 3 out of 4. Yeah, point out of first place.
So you need everybody to draw, and you're already halfway there.
Yeah, draw, win. Yeah.
Yeah, so not too bad.
Quick shout out to Aman Hamilton.
Oh yeah,
he defeated Alexei Shirov today. I mean, huge result.
Yeah, that was actually pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I was in the commentary room, and Simon Williams and Fiona were going crazy. I was waiting for your game to finish, and it really seemed a lot more one-sided than it probably really was. And shout out to Aman, because I felt like there were a lot of things that could have gone wrong in the position that he had.
Right.
And for the most part, I think he found the most accurate moves every single move. So
nice. Well, good for him.
Good for him. Did you actually get to watch that? You were in the tournament hall, so did you get to see that transpire?
I didn't even know they were playing until I found out that he beat Shiro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just focused on my game.
Yeah, well, a lot happened, in terms of, during our game. It's amazing what, in 3-4 hours, what can happen in the world. I mean, I turned on my phone, Wesley So has lost his
Wesley
streak.
So, the streak is over.
So now my winning streak is actually longer than Wesley's.
That's
so
true.
If I keep it up tomorrow, I think, things look pretty good. So, I felt pretty good coming into this tournament with a 13-game win streak, but it seems like a 1-game winning streak is enough to do it. To look better than Wesley. So, but that being said, let's get started, because we have a lot of ground to cover, and I think a fair number of instructive games. Yours a little bit differently than mine. But
mine was.
We've got a lot of themes to cover.
Right.
I think last round we were kind of getting schooled, and this round we were doing the schooling. So I'm playing a youngster from Norway. He's 13 years old, 1700, but I didn't want to take him for granted because he'd only played people, I believe, higher than 2050, and he was 1 out of 3. For 1700, that's a really solid performance.
He's young, he could be underrated.
Exactly, and he had gained several hundred points, within relatively recent months. So, okay, in the database, he had a lot of E4 games, and I was expecting E4, and just like my first one in the tournament, I was preparing E5. He had no games in the database, and this is a safe approach.
Right.
I'm noticing against these lower rated players, I could start to count on my endgame knowledge to be the critical difference.
Yeah.
But he surprised me first. He played my move, C4. So all of a sudden, it feels like we're reviewing one of my games with White. Maybe yesterday's game or my game against Ali Ramirez. I was actually, speaking of Ali Ramirez, I was very tempted to repeat that game, but I feel like there's just enough setups that White can do something maybe a little bit different.
Right.
And
White has a lot of options here.
Maybe he even looked at that game and has something, that I'm not so aware of. What he thought was that I was going to go into a game I played in Budapest and just go for a King's Indian this way, but I feel like this is a little bit naive to think that just because I'm playing Knight f6 and allowing this, I can still play e6, I could even play c5. Apparently he plays all of this as black, so he wasn't really too worried, but this is his first game he's ever played c4. This is a brave move to be playing against a higher rated player, but kudos to him for feeling that he had something here, and I think he got a reasonable position. I played e6. I can play a lot of different things here. And the point is that I'm just asking Black what he wants to do. And Black actually doesn't know what White... White doesn't really know what Black wants to do. For example, if he plays d4, which he did in the game, of course I can play d5, but I can also play Knight f6.
Right.
And the other advantage to having played e6 is now that he's played d4, if I were a Dutch player, maybe this move order isn't so bad. Because before, if we use my move order, Knight to c3, well now f5 you have to think twice, because it's still possible to go for this pawn structure.
Yeah.
Things that can happen. But okay, I decided that I wanted to play something solid. d4, d5, knight c3, bishop e7. This is the popular way to play nowadays. And we had a quick trade.
The Vaganian line, right?
Something like
named
this.
after Raphael Vaganyan.
I thought it's Vaganyan. I thought that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Something like this.
I think so.
As Simon Williams would say, I don't know how to pronounce these names. I would be on top for that. Okay, so bishop f4, and of course it's important to insert this move c6. For any of those who maybe aren't familiar with the Queen's Gambit decline, if you play bishop f5 here, you're automatically hit with queen to b3, and well,
that's a problem. I mean, sometimes that's okay, but here it's a problem.
Yeah, here it's definitely a problem. So okay, c6 is here, and he played knight f3. Usually you see queen c2 for players who are just trying to get a safe edge. And he played this bishop d6 idea, which is very similar to what happened in the game. But he played knight f3. And I had to think here for a little bit, because my main line is to play bishop f5, but there's many different ways to play this position. I think if I were playing against someone who I kind of knew what they played, I would just play my main line here. But do you recall a specific U.S. Chess Championships game that occurred in this line?
Would it be So Akobian?
Yeah, good guess, round one. Yeah, so Akobian, and then even the year before that, Lenderman versus Caruana. And the idea is that white is going to play for h3, g4, and these lines are becoming a little bit topical, and okay, I'm comfortable playing with them with this black, but I didn't want white to get excited about anything, and I wanted him to kind of commit to something first. So I decided, okay, you know what? Bishop d6. We're just gonna play typical QGD. This f5 square is staying on the board. You know, it's not going anywhere.
I mean, interesting way to play for a win with black. Like,
well, I mean, I wouldn't want to say play with a win. I just want to make sure I avoid all preparation. I mean, for me, he's already surprised me with c4. He's never had a game in the database with d4. So, you know, there's enough games on me in the database now that I thought, like, okay, maybe he has something up his sleeve, and let's err on the side of caution. So, okay, he traded once. Queen takes, and he played this move e3. I played knight g to e7. I think knight f6 is fine, but my idea is that I want to just get support for the f5 square. Should I want to play my bishop there? And sometimes maybe it might not be so bad to play knight f6. So for knight c6. So for example, there's a QGD line. That's kind of like a sub-main line. So let's say he played this after c6, queen c2. So after queen c2, there's this line: takes, knight f3, and going straight for any.
Right.
And okay, of course it's about to equal, but if he had gone for this position, I would have gone straight for this endgame, because I'm just going to trust my endgames against a lower-rated player. If he deserves the draw, then great. But
yeah, why not?
Just like my first game, let's let white take all the risks first before I commit to anything. So this was kind of my idea with knight to e7, is that I kind of set up this similar idea, but you could argue that maybe my knight is decent on g6. Takes away this square and gives me some time to decide what I want to do with the rest of my pieces. Again, this is equal, nothing special. You know, I'm kind of improvising here, because of course this is in my main line. Okay, so for him, he plays this move bishop d3 like this, and here I castled, and he played this move h3. And as we're going to see in a little bit, even though this stops this move bishop to g4, okay, number one, this isn't my intention, but number two, this is actually to cause some problems down the road. And one thing that I thought was really instructive about this game is I actually went over the game with my opponent, and he kept on saying, "Oh, it's equal. We should probably draw this." But there's a key distinction there. Equal does not mean drawing.
I know.
And that's one of the things I think with these younger players who just want to play for a draw sometimes against a higher rated player with white. They get too caught up in this. It's equal. We're drawing. It's equal. We're drawing.
Yeah, it's a good lesson from all my students.
Exactly, and I think that this game actually does a really good job of embodying that, because black doesn't really do that much. Actually, I'm sorry, I got the move order wrong. It was here, h3, and then castles. Okay, we were going to reach this anyways. So, castling, he castles, knight d7, and of course I'm not afraid of him taking here. I would love to see this move g4 now, because he's creating weaknesses of his own. The assessment on the position hasn't changed, but, you know, okay, h5 and f5 are both legitimate plans.
I think the assessment has changed. Black is much better.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. But of course, he's better than this. So, okay, no trades for me. And so he started to go into the tank a little bit here, because my plan is kind of obvious. I would like to play knight to f6. And then if he were to ever trade, this knight is coming here, and then one day coming back here.
d6. Yeah, I feel like actually black is slightly more comfortable already.
Black is slightly more comfortable, and the reason why is this h3 move. And, you know, with me, I can always take away the c5 score with f6, right? With white, yes, you have a pawn in the f file, but my liking would be please, please, please play this move, because now this is a weak square, and you have a weak pawn here. I don't have the same thing. So, I only recall so much from, Dejan Boykov's chess.com series on Carlsbad pawn structures, but I know that this square is very important. And as we see, white actually isn't so comfortable with these structures. This is one of the things about changing your openings and preparing for something and then walking into a new position is my opponent expected a King's Indian.
Right.
And he actually prepared a fairly ambitious line that he shared with me. And I'm like, okay, well, good, I didn't play this, but this was not what I intended. If white doesn't know these pawn structures, it's very easy to get worse position, I think. He played this move, knight to e2.
That seems...
It's very peculiar, isn't it?
I mean, why should just play the minority attack, right?
Exactly. Carlsbad, a3, b4, a5. I don't think it's anything, to be worried about if I'm black, but as we're going to see in the game, he starts this way too late, and it's just not well timed. Now, I tried to figure out, okay, what is this move knight to e2 doing? And I found this positional idea that doesn't work out tactically, but it's going to carry over to my next couple of moves. I was looking at this with bishop to e4, because okay, it does have a threat, right? And I'm just trying to figure out, okay, now I've cleared the d5 square. But okay, I have to play f5. If I play knight f6, this should be okay, but then this pawn is more of a weakness than a strength, so f5. But then the problem is tactically this just doesn't work, because at the end of the day, this pawn is dropping, and I can't actually repick it up because I can't. So tactically this doesn't work out, but this is a very interesting idea because I would love to have this square for my knight. And so I figured, okay, well, let's play this move for after e8, because now I'm actually preparing to play this move. So, white in the game played knight to f4, and here I decided it's time to play this because now, should he take, I think I'm strategically doing just fine. I have pressure here, this pawn is annoying, and if he's not careful, boom, boom.
So what if he takes on d5 here?
He takes on d5. Well, now I get a strategic hold. This is the position that you want against a lower-rated player. f3 is never coming because he's played h3. So, you don't really want to weaken these squares. And also, if he plays f3 and, I can't really make anything here, I can always take and then use this as a target. So I was very comfortable with these positions, not to mention where does this knight go.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a French player, so I like white here, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, okay, no one's better, right? But the normal breaks, I think, for white are troublesome. And not to mention I can also play f5 should he play f3 and I decide I want to just keep everything going. And then this trade, then it's kind of like, why did white just spend these two moves if I can just come back and, or play knight f6. I thought against a low-rated player with a long-term space advantage, not winning, maybe only slightly better, but I mean,
you have to be careful.
This is the position
it's kind of,
that we had a couple moves ago.
That structure can be kind of double-edged.
It's double-edged, but I want something that I can get a small positional edge against this guy. And so, yeah, I mean, compared to this position, I think I've made progress, arguably, compared to here. So, even it's not winning, but I mean, I know the ideas, and white, he's not, he hasn't played these positions before, so not so bad. So, I actually thought the critical move here was knight g5. And in my original calculation before I had made this move, originally I thought maybe knight f5 was interesting, but then I quickly realized queen h5 could spell for some trouble because I have 1 and 2 weaknesses. So my plan was to play knight to f6. This is what I decided. And I openly invite this move because now I'm putting a knight here, putting pressure on f4. I don't think anyone's better, but I think it's easy to play black right now. I have a lot of initiative. I'm going to put a knight here. And the pawn structure change makes things interesting because it becomes a permanent outpost. So no one's still better, but white's mentality of the game going in of, we're just going to trade pieces and draw is no longer valid.
I don't know. I would still take white here, to be honest.
You would take white here?
Yeah, I would just play bishop c4.
Bishop to c4? Okay, so if I go here?
I would take with the knight.
You take with the knight. And okay, so here I have a critical decision. I think if I take with the knight, it could be interesting because I have a rook left. I think I could also take with the pawn. But okay, positionally, I'm thinking the bishop might have a hard time getting into the game.
No, bishop b3.
Bishop to b3. Okay, your plan is to play against this guy? Okay, so let's see. Let's put this rook here.
Yeah, let's do queen d2.
Queen d2. I'm going to play a6.
Let's do rook ac1.
Okay, to c1. That was fun. Okay, I'm going to play here.
And, no, f3. Hit you with from this side. Ooh, I take. Rook f5.
Something has gone wrong with my position.
Yeah,
see, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to play b5, knight b6, and knight c4, but I can't give myself so many moves. So I think this is not the right idea. Okay, so maybe we should bring over this rook and then ignore this.
Yeah, maybe, let's say queen d2 again. Kind of the same.
Aha, okay, let's just take this move away altogether then.
Okay, rook c1 now.
Rook c1, rook c8.
Maybe f3 again?
F3, but aren't you creating...
I'll take with the queen. Yeah, I mean, but I think take on c8. And
I'm dropping on d5, aren't I? Well, not really. Because,
maybe, yeah.
No, because bishop takes knight takes queen takes f7.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so yeah, there's still some stuff in this.
Yeah, position. I mean, I think with the knight on d2, it's not clear with the knight. But yeah, take with the knight here, and then white plays like maybe queen b3 and f5. And I think it's b5. No, I'll take on d5. But f5, I think.
Well, then you take on b7.
Oh, right. Maybe rook e7 then.
Yeah, I'm taking rook e7 and f5 g5.
But it's very unbalanced, so you can play this.
This is what I want. I mean, like.
Okay. He needs a positional touch, you know.
I mean, the thing was, in this position, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not playing bishop e4, how am I creating the imbalances that I want without taking any more risk? You know, I don't really want to push any of these pawns yet because it's undecided. And if I play a move like knight f6, he's just coming in, and it's like, I feel like these positions are harder to prove.
Yeah.
So I made this with a distinct decision that I'm going to create imbalances.
No, I think it's
so
definitely playable.
I mean, when I played it, when I send this game to my coach with the notation PGN, I'm going to give this exclamation question mark. Because this isn't, if you put this in the engine, this is not the best move.
For sure.
But I need, you know, if I were playing a lower rated player, I might even just trade him d3. But like, I need to do something, right? You know, he's made it clear to me he wants a draw. He did not take. I thought knight g5 was critical. These lines were interesting, but he played knight d2, which is probably second best. And the point is that now I don't have the advantage of taking with the tempo, right? So, okay, I decided, what are you going to do? Takes. And I want to play a move like knight f6, but the problem is I give him the square. Right. So I decided to take the slow approach, to come here, play here, I came here. And the point is that when he comes in here, we're going to use the same idea that I just talked about, which is that he can't play f3.
Right.
So I think black is the smallest,
play f6, yeah.
The smallest of edges. So he takes, and okay, of course not queen d6 back, but here, so then that way I have an escape square for my knight. And from what I know about Carlsbad structures, if I can get the knight on d6, I'm doing very well.
Knight on d6 is
controlling b7, controlling two central squares. f6 is coming, and when we were going over the game at this point, he said, "Okay, I think the position is going to be equal in the draw," and I think that this is where that 1700 difference between 1700 and 2000 is.
When I hear that, my first thought is like, "Well, why didn't you draw them?"
Yeah, exactly.
Why didn't you draw?
It's a very cringe-worthy statement for me because it's not like everything is so trivial. In fact, I think this might be the best position I've had all game. You know, if you think about it in that sense. I mean, he plays queen e2, I play f6, and he plays knight d3, and you know, I have a decent position. If I was playing with black and was playing as a GM, I would be delighted. Of course, you know, you don't want to just play for two results. Sometimes when you're playing a low-rated player. And I think finding the best plan here for the game's continuation can be a little bit tricky.
Right.
So for one, I was looking at a5, but I couldn't decide if this helped or hurt my position. Because I thought, wouldn't it be nice to be able to put this pawn here with the idea of bringing this knight around here? This was one idea. But I think this kind of leaves myself open. He doesn't have to react, and maybe one day he brings a queen over and targets b7.
Right.
So I thought, okay, maybe an okay move, but what have I really achieved, right? So I started looking elsewhere around the board. Knight d6 immediately, you know, knight f4, what are we doing, right? And so
g5.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I played, and I feel like, again, if I were playing against a GM, this isn't the move that I would ever play.
I would hope not.
No, for sure, of course not. But against the low-rated player, this is a psychological weapon, but also, okay, positionally I do take away the f4 square, so it's not without consequence.
And then maybe one day king g7, king g6, h5.
Well, I didn't even think about doing this. I just thought about, you know, going here, here, and then getting ready to play g4. I thought maybe at the right moment I just lift like this, and, you know, my queen comes to h5. The play can be quite simple.
You know, you're allowed to do this when you control the center, okay?
Right.
You know, don't try this at home if you're not going to be controlling the center.
It would appear I've created too many arrows.
Oh, you can just click on the board and that gets rid of all the arrows.
Oh, you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good tip for all of our viewers out there. For
sorry, I should have mentioned it before round 4.
Actually, we should have been doing this in all the videos before.
Oh, I have been.
Oh, you have been? I didn't know
it's
this.
very smooth.
I could have probably saved like 30 minutes worth of lessons on chess.com with my students if I'd known that, but good to know. All right, so g5, right? And I mean, I figure I need to create pressure against this pawn, and in a dream world, this pawn somehow trades or goes here, and then creates a weakness on e3. The king gets a little bit weak. Yes, I am creating my own weaknesses, but I have to create my own luck too. And so it was at this point in the game that my opponent started to get a little bit scared, I think. He played here, and I played here with the obvious intention of playing for h5, and he told me at this point he was scared of my attack.
Oh.
I'm not a believer of my own attack in this position. Not that I'm saying that I think I'm worse or anything, but I mean, think about it. I have to play h5, then I have to play queen g6, then I have to play g4.
You give up the f4 square.
I have to give up the f4 square.
But you can. I mean, black does this a lot.
Black does this a lot. I mean, another idea is that I just simply play h5, h4, and I just simply trade down to an endgame where I have no losing chances and try to play against these weaknesses. So I have a lot of different ideas here, but this was enough to scare him, apparently. And he played a move I wasn't so crazy about, a4. I think that this is the wrong way to approach the Carlsbad, but the thing is, if you play a move like b4, it's not so easy to predict what happens when you give me the square. And he played a4, but didn't follow up with b4. And I think this is the critical follow-up. We were looking at this after the game, and the thing is, I actually think black doesn't have to do that much. So, for example, one of the original lines we were looking at, okay, well, black just continues with his plan. I think this is not the best move because actually this is a target now. Of course, if white takes, we're happy because now we have a target in the A file. But even these lines weren't so easy for white to play anymore. Because now this knight comes here, this pawn is a target. And if you try to play for b6 to use a c7 square, the pawn is just too slow. And this pawn is very slippery. Not this knight's best friend. And so that's by playing h5, a move that's not that helpful. And so, okay, Ricky c8 is probably good enough. And, well, actually, maybe not tactically because we don't want to lose this a pawn. But okay, we can just simply move this queen back over, or even here. As long as we're getting our pieces on this side of the board, we're doing something right. And this pawn is not easily a target. And so my opponent here, he played this move knight to c5 with a very specific intention in mind, to play queen g4. And this is where I think he went wrong. His plan is very obvious. He wants to play queen d7.
And draw.
And draw.
Trade queens.
In which, by the way, I actually don't think it's such an easy task, when playing against a high-rated player, because I'm activating my king, I'm playing h4, this knight is coming back, yes, it's equal.
What do you mean? Are you telling me that not all endgames are drawn?
Oh, believe it or not, of course not. Well, I live for the endgame, so I win like half my games now.
The game is just starting.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I would actually see this position. I mean, like, there would be several plans. One would be to play h4, the other one would be to play h5, f5, f4. This could be an idea with the idea of like maybe getting a rook on e2 if it's well-timed. I mean, the problem is because he's played h3, this knight is very well placed, and the king safety is always an issue if you play f3. So if I can, I can always control when the file opens and closes with this knight. As long as I don't trade knights, I think I would have decent chances. But I think white, of course, should hold this. But okay, why let white do what he wants? The first question is this a good move on merit, right? When I play a move like rook e7, which I did during the game, is this well placed? And the answer is always no. And this is the kind of move that you make when you're playing for a draw, is that you stop thinking about, am I playing for two results anymore? And of course, in this position, you want to start looking at moves like b4, but the problem is, again, I'm getting a rook here.
Yeah.
So things are very difficult. And he was worried during the game that if you put in a move like this, h5 is coming, which in fact it is. So I think at this point, white has already done something wrong with his a4, a5 plan. I think that's the only way to describe it. He plays this move queen g4, and now after rook e7, he actually we actually see what happens when you play for a draw and then realize all of a sudden, hey, wait a minute, this isn't looking like equal. And he plays a move h4.
Not good, not good.
Not
h5,
good.
yeah?
h5, of course. And the thing is, when you play for a draw, you just put your pieces on like the most solid squares. You don't really look for an attacking purpose. But when the game shifts and you realize you no longer have that equality anymore, you start to make moves like this. And the thing is, his pieces aren't even placed for a kingside attack. It was obvious all along he has to target b7. Unfortunately for him, all of my pieces are both attacking and defending. Like, meanwhile, while he's been thinking, I have a draw, I've slowly started improving my position. I mean, you could argue that g5 is a weakness. I wouldn't play it against a stronger player for that same reason, but, it's all been collectively for one goal, to finally get this counterplay. And finally it comes through. and the game doesn't actually go that much longer. So he plays this move queen to g3, thinking he's forking both my knight and my pawn, and I think he missed this.
Yeah.
And then I think even here, I think he missed that I have this check, because now he can't pick up the there's no way he was picking up the h5 pawn. Of course, he was hoping for this. But now, this has gone from maybe a position that was closer to a quality to a very sad position.
Yeah, very sad.
I think you might be happy with my next move.
Ooh, let me guess. It's going to be something tactical.
There's no immediate tactic, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's a setup move.
Queen h7? Queen g6? Oh, nothing with the queen. Setup.
What's my worst place piece, dude?
The knight. Oh, the rook. Rook a8. Did I say knight?
You said the knight. The knight's my best place piece. Rook a8. The rook doesn't belong on e8.
Excuse me? Oh, king g7, rook h8.
There we go. And now the idea is I'm going to bring the rook over to h8, and now I can start to move my queen.
Very interesting.
So everything is harmonious, and I'm threatening h4.
Yeah, it is h4. Yeah.
So of course this is just in time for the maneuver knight here, and should he come to f4, it's just game over because the saints are marching in.
Yeah.
And so he plays knight to e1, probably the most solid move.
Oh, trade knights and draw.
Well, he's down a pawn. There's no draw anymore. And at this point in the game, he's very dejected because he spent the whole game trying to draw, and now his position has no counterplay chances whatsoever.
Well, look, I mean, his king is the most active piece on the board.
That's actually very true. His king actually controls just more squares than his queen, I think. I played here, and he resigned, but just to kind of give him...
Oh, he resigned.
He resigned. I thought this was kind of premature, but I mean, given his emotional state at this point, I'm not surprised. And it was clear with 7 moves, I have so much time, I'm never going to lose this game of time. But okay, the idea that I had in mind was simply post my queen here. I'm not going to trade queens, but wherever you put your king, let's say king g1, I'm coming here. This d4 pawn, is going unless you play king f1, which is very uncomfortable, and now h4 is coming in. And I think this queen is seen the last of the game. And so he resigned.
Yeah, just lost.
I mean, I think he resigned partially for giving me too much credit, but okay, I think it's not completely unjustified. But yeah, what can I say about this game? I feel like so much now of the commentary around Grandmaster level chess is all these like basic draws. Nope, it's not f5, but d5. And okay, we can get these basic draws, but at the same time, there's also a game called chess that we play too.
Well, the Carlsbad, has enough imbalance because the pawn structure isn't symmetrical. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I feel like if you know how to play the Queen's Gambit decline, you can play for 2 results as white. But just simply the way that this game transpired, it left a lot to be desired, I think, for white. I mean, this move h3, or we didn't reach it through this move order, but okay, we get the same position after bishop f5. This move h3, I think, actually was the beginning of that little butterfly effect. Butterfly flaps its wings, it creates a little bit of wind, and eventually someone becomes elected president or something.
Right.
This move h3 actually had a lot of meaning, and this is like the kind of move I think you play when you're looking for a draw, without thinking about the deeper positional consequences. And in reality, once I got my rook to e8, I wouldn't want to say the game was easy, but it felt kind of natural what Black had to do if he wanted to be serious about playing for a win.
Right.
And when I was talking to the kid after the game, one of the things I told him was like, you played a solid game. Okay, you made some mistakes with queen g4. Up until that point, you're probably hanging in the balance. But if you want to draw, you'll get it when you deserve one, right? You play chess, play your stuff, play for a win, and if the position peters out to a draw, that's what you deserve today.
Right.
But when you play for a draw, you fail to give yourself 1/3 of the results. Now, if you think about it, now I have a 50% chance of winning.
Right.
I think with Grandmasters, they are a little bit worried against a 2200 who's solid and has his opening repertoire really well. He plays for a draw and they get a draw. Okay, oh well. But okay, for me, when I'm playing a 1700 and they play for a draw, I feel like my job as Black, the hardest part is already done, which is proving equality. I get that from move 1. And so I think that's what this game shows. And just like in my second round game, I'll say it again, just because the water in the pot is cold doesn't mean the stove isn't turned on.
Doesn't mean the stove isn't hot.
Yeah, exactly. And in this position after g5, he's position boiled quickly.
A good lesson for the youngster, just because it's equal position doesn't mean it's just going to be easy to draw. And you should play more ambitiously with white.
Right. And I think part of the problem for him was, as he told me during the game, he had never played this before, hadn't studied this. Maybe don't target your prep so much because players north of 2000, they can vary some stuff, whether it's because they know their openings or not. Even though the computer does give you 0.4, but you don't know how to play the position.
It's useless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought this was a somewhat instructive game to our younger viewers out there, a lesson that you won't have to have the pain of learning over the board yourself. But I think with that being said, your game was a lot more interesting.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we're going to get a difference in games here because my game was exceptionally tactical. I was white. I was outplayed by my lower-rated opponent. So here I'm playing a guy from Sweden. His name is Johan Sigeman. Sigeman? No.
I think it's Sigeman.
Sigeman.
That sounds right.
Okay. And then he's around 2140, so I'm about 200 points higher than him. And my prep showed me that he's playing a lot of Nimzo Indian, Queens Indian, very solid stuff, seems happy there. And I just lost yesterday, so I figured I wanted to play something new. And I went for the Jobava attack, knight c3, d5, bishop f4. Now, I've never really studied the line personally, but like I was saying, one of my students plays this line. And we've analyzed a number of his games from these positions, so I felt like I was somewhat familiar with the plans.
Right.
Okay, black has a lot of options here. e6, c6, g6. You play bishop f5, which makes a lot of sense. f3, e6, and now g4, bishop g6, h4. This is kind of white's main idea in this line.
Right.
Now, Nakamura himself played h6 and defeated Jobava in the, I think, Waikanze 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Jobava was very upset after that game because he felt like he had a nice position. But I think the plan here is to play h5, bishop h7, e3, and then just play like bishop d3 and knight h3 and develop, and then eventually try to play for e4 using the space advantage.
Right.
Black ever castles kingside, he's going to have trouble with.
Of course.
It's similar to the Karo Khan actually in this sense.
Mm-hmm.
But he went for, I think, the more principled approach with h5.
Mm-hmm.
I played g5. And actually, the Nakamura game, they reached this position. He played knight d7. But here black plays knight g8, which I think is very logical, just to put the knight on e7 and then f5.
Right.
Now, I always thought that black should play e3, or that white should play e3 here.
Mm-hmm.
But then looking at this after the game, I realized e4 is a better move.
Mm-hmm.
And I think actually white does get some advantage here. This knight will come to h3, and then d3 will be either the bishop or even sometimes the queen, or maybe the queen, knight g2, and then bishop h3.
Right. So now we see the downside of having played h5 is you lose a piece that's contributing towards the center.
Right. Black loses the time, and whenever the knight comes to f4, because a lot of times these bishops get traded off, then we have a lot of pressure on g6, h5. So this is the way white should play, I think. Okay, I played e3, black played bishop d6, knight h3, knight e7, and bishop
b4 would have been more challenging for black. I mean, for white, rather. Bishop b4.
Bishop b4.
I'm not convinced you want to give up the start toward bishop just yet.
Well, I'll play bishop d3 probably. And is the idea to take on c3 or just to...
I'm just going to leave it there. It's going to make it more difficult for you to play e4 if I can take it at the right moment.
Hmm.
But I would really love to be able to play like a6 and c5.
a6.
So like maybe knight d7 first. Let's just develop.
Mm-hmm.
That long-term a6 and then c5.
But what if I play a3? Then you take?
Yeah, now probably I would take.
So you get kind of like a winnower almost.
I guess so. I mean, this isn't my specialty.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there's just like this. You have imbalances.
Right, but I think white is happy because he can play c4.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, usually black doesn't give up. Usually black just trades the bishops.
Although, wait, in this position after a3, bishop takes c3.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there c5 at the end of that line?
Yeah, I think just c4 anyway.
c4 anyways.
No,
I guess you just trust the fact that you're better developed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be my first thought. You know, it requires some calculation, but I imagine white has enough in the center.
And takes on d4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because you actually don't mind playing c5 and then using the dark square bishop.
Oh, yeah, for
this
sure.
Would be a positional masterpiece. Okay.
That's a bit strong.
So there are some plot twists here. Okay, that's good.
I mean, I suppose I could also play knight e2 if I was concerned about the double pawns.
Yeah, I guess so.
a3.
And I guess you can play knight to g3 with the same purpose as if you would knight f2, because either way it contributes to playing e4.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
So that's not too bad.
Okay, so here, bishop d6, knight h3, knight e7, bishop d3. Now I'm hoping that since I'm the high-rated player, he's going to make all the trades, right, and improve my position. So something like this
would be a dream.
is what I was hoping for, and then maybe g6. And then after, let's say, castle, the next move e4, I think this is what white is looking for. Rook e1, and then I take on d5, and black is underdeveloped. White is just much, much faster here. But no, he actually plays, you're right, a6 and c5, which I think is actually very, very strong. Because I don't have a useful move here.
Right.
I played queen d2 because I want to castle queenside. But if he takes, then I already lost the tempo.
Right.
But he doesn't take. He plays c5.
Do you think he should have taken?
No. I think he's right to keep the tension.
Right.
Because it just helps my queen.
I guess that the position really hasn't changed that much when you have played a6.
Yeah, exactly. So here, I don't know. I already prefer black, to be honest. My initial instinct was to play queen h2 to force the trade. But then I was thinking about this position. So takes, let's say takes on d3, I take with the knight, takes on d4. And then he just puts pressure. Knight c6, I play knight e2.
Knight's coming to f5.
Knight f5, I play c3. And I was thinking about this position, I was just like, well, black is very happy. Even queen b8, just challenging the queens. And when I trade queens, I mean, white has more weaknesses than black.
Yeah,
the h4 pawn is ugly. Black can play the minorities. However, I just put the pawn on b6, not worry about knight c5. And I would take black here. I think most players would. I think white has absolutely nothing.
Of course.
So when I realized that this isn't going to be good for me, I really went into the tank. I found a way to make my position worse, but at least dynamic. I ended up taking on c5, which is a common reaction to c5. Takes and bishop e5. And I was hoping this would just pose some problems that... Really, at this point, my hope is to run him low on time and then flag him. Or he makes a mistake because of time trouble. That's kind of what happened, but not exactly. Okay, so black has some ways here to go wrong for sure, because this pawn is hanging. So I thought most natural was to take on d3. And it took me a while to figure out that queen takes is better than pawn takes in d4. So after queen takes, he plays knight f5. I can actually play e4 here. And it took me a while to realize that like knight on e3 is nothing to be scared of, actually.
It was more trapped than winning.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can probably just take on g7, bishop comes back to f6. He has one check here, but I play king e2, and f4 is covered, and then rook h2 is coming, and black is in trouble. More likely, he probably has to take on e4, and then I swap queens.
Queenside castles?
Queenside castles with check, and then he has to move the king somewhere. Maybe king e7, I'm not exactly sure. And then I take on e4 with...
I feel like the pawn, right? So you take on g7?
Well, I'm not sure. But he will have a tempo here. And... I don't know, I do something and then I will always have g4.
Well,
but
when you have rook d3, he doesn't have enough time to break the pawn because of... Well, I guess b4 he can always play bishop a7.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say.
Probably like rook h e1 and then d1, but this is a lot of time.
But, you know, white, yeah, knight g4 hits the bishop. So I wasn't exactly sure, but I felt knight e4 is actually maybe better because I hit the bishop and then I can come in on the d6 square. And I thought, at least I have play here. I'm not just worse with no counterplay. I can play knight f4 or something. And I thought, okay, I'm up in development at least. So that's kind of what I was going for, but he actually finds a much, much stronger move in castles, which I didn't really take all that seriously because I just thought, well... You've
been wanting this the whole opening, and now he doesn't.
I would love for him to castle kingside, but it seems like black is actually in time to just create a huge counterplay. So knight c6 is coming, and I have problems with the bishop. If I play knight f4, just plays knight c6. And I was actually thinking about sacrificing like this, bishop g7, and bishop takes g6. So he can't take with the pawn, I have knight takes e6. If he takes with the knight, I get a second pawn, king h8. But here I realized I'm not in time to create any attack. I thought knight f6, but what am I doing exactly? There's no threat.
Yeah, of course.
But knight e5 and black takes over. So this isn't serious. So I can take here, but then in some cases even fg is strong, and then this is a problem. And knight is coming to f5. So I couldn't really do that. Eventually, I came up with this move, knight e2. And the idea is that if he plays knight c6, now I have bishop g7 and queen c3. But during the game, I didn't actually want to go for this because after I take, I think he just plays e5, takes rook c8, and black is more than compensation. I think black is just doing, I have problems here.
Your king.
e4 is coming. Like queen a3, for example, e4 is a big problem.
Queen b6 could be coming too after that.
Yeah, queen b6, and then here, like knight e5, for example, knight f3 check. I mean, I think my position is just collapsing.
Yeah.
Knight f5. So that's black's not only option, by the way. I think d4, I think white is fine there. But what I was going for is that, like, I was hoping, because when I played this move, I was looking with my eyes, bishop takes g7. So I was hoping that he would consider this move, see this, get scared, and then not play it.
That's called hope chess.
As it turned out, he didn't even see that I can take on g7. He finds queen b6 anyways, which is just probably a stronger move objectively than knight c6. So he's attacking here, and I'm obliged to give up a pawn. I mean, I can keep it with king f2, but
that doesn't count.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. Okay, so I played bishop d4, and now he took, and he takes on b2, which I think is fine, but we'll see how he misplays it. I thought knight c6 keeps the initiative for black. If I play c3, he just plays e5, and black has a space advantage, has the center, and white has a lot of weaknesses. White is just busted, probably. So probably I would have to take and hope for equality somehow, maybe knight f4. I don't really know how to equalize here for white. I think black is just better. He can even play e5 here, and again take with the f pawn. And now this guy is dumb, this guy is dumb, this guy is dumb. Just terrible, terrible position. And I quit chess, if I lose. Okay, but he takes the pawn. I think it's a principled decision because he can, and I don't really get any huge compensation.
Right.
I played king f2. And now I just thought the easiest for him was just to go back. Rook b1, queen c7. Then knight c6, rook to c8, rook b8. White just has nothing. Eventually he even plays e5 and starts targeting my king.
Funnily enough, I think your rook on h1 is actually kind of stuck because you always have to cover this queen h2 idea.
Yeah. I mean, I'll play king g2, but still, it's like my position is bad. Eventually the h4 pawn is always weak because he'll take and he'll put his knight on f5, g6, and I just have no entry squares. I have absolutely nothing. I mean, it's still some work for him to win, but it's an extra pawn and he has a better position. Okay, but he gets ambitious. He takes here, which I think he didn't have to. But finally he takes, so I won that battle at least. And he plays rook c8.
So he's getting a little bit greedy.
So here I felt like he's being a little bit ambitious. He's overextending. Because I think he should just develop and bring the other rook to c8. This rook can always use on the king side. Because now I just feel like, okay, he doesn't have so many pieces over here. I played c3, which I think maybe he underestimated a little bit. Because now I have ideas of just chasing his queen.
Right.
And here comes a very, very bad move, b5. So he's trying to play b4, just rip everything up. Or knight c6 and then b4. But tactically there's an issue.
Yeah.
Again, he should just go back with the queen. And he's still much better.
Or at least queen a3.
Yeah, queen a3. So b5. And immediately I realized if I play a4, his queen's not getting out. Because rook b1 is coming, and if he plays queen b3, I also have a threat because of the a file.
Right. Okay.
That's the problem with going too much before you're fully developed, is that...
Right, it's kind of funny because...
I want my pawn back.
Black has been kind of playing according to principle, and now that he's gotten the advantage, it's kind of like...
He's gotten a taste of the money, and, it's like when someone wins the lottery, they immediately go bankrupt, right?
Of course.
But the problem is he can play b4, rook b1, and he has rook takes c3.
Yeah.
And both queens are hanging for free. Neither is protected. If I take, he takes with the pawn and defends his queen.
Right.
And he looks like he keeps his extra pawn. I mean, I have some drawing chances, but I'm still down a pawn. So, then I did something that I'm very good at, which I call retroactive thinking. I play knight f4. Oops, not a4, knight f4. Hitting the h5 pawn and defending my queen.
Oh, so now when he plays g6, you have a4.
So when he plays g6, a4 is now crushing.
So he needed to have played queen a3 instead of g6.
Well, actually, that's what he did. He didn't play g6.
Okay.
But this was my idea. Now the queen on d3 is protected, and this line is just losing for black.
Of course.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, when I played knight f4, I could tell by his face that now he saw a4.
Oh, no.
And so he started thinking, and he played queen a3. But of course, I get my pawn back, and suddenly I have a huge initiative.
Good compensation.
Well, I win my pawn back. Yeah. But I did something funny here that I've done a few times before. When I played knight f4, I already knew this was the best move for him. And the game goes on.
Of course.
But I played knight f4, and I kept my pen in my hand, thinking that, oh, g6 is an automatic response. Hoping for him to just play g6, then I bang out a4, and it's game over.
Right.
But, okay, he was alert. He realized he plays queen a3. Now, I could take on h5. I ended up not. I thought he plays b4. He needs to get counterplay. And my idea here was like either rook g1 or knight f6 check, go for the attack. But I just couldn't make it work. He puts the knight on f5, rook g1, king f8.
The queen can't get it.
Yeah, it doesn't get to h6, and it's too slow. And he's ready to just take and get tons of counterplay. So I realized, okay, it's not going to be so fast here. I have to play rook g1 or rook c1 or something. And then I realized, well, maybe I don't have to take the pawn. A better move for the initiative is g6. Of course.
Because the e6 pawn is more important.
Rip him open, right? Yeah. I always preach, when you're a pawn down, you don't just try to win the pawn back, you go for the activity, right? I don't care about the number of pawns. I need to start making threats. Now I think white is getting the initiative, but I think black's position is still holdable. But we're both in time trouble here, actually. It's move 21. We have like maybe 20 minutes left.
Right.
He could take. This might have been playable. And then I'm not sure if I take or if I play rook g1. Or maybe this rook to g1. It's really not clear to me what white's best play here.
Is there a reason why you weren't looking at queen g6?
So if I play queen g6, I think he plays queen d7.
Plays an h5 also dropping?
Yeah, I take h5. He plays maybe rook f8. Because, I just feel like black might be in time. Like knight d7, knight f6, rook c8, and my knight doesn't get to f4, which is what I didn't like.
So statically, there's just not enough. I mean, there's no way to make queen g4, h5, h6 work. Is there?
I mean, it's a bit slow. Queen g4, knight d7, h5,
I'd love
knight f6.
to be able to bring in that second rook once the game opens up. I guess it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, I think it's just not fast enough. I mean, he even has knight e4 check.
Oh, that'd be a cute trick. Like if you play like queen g5, thinking you're pinning the knights to the queen.
Yeah, and then cold shower.
Cold shower, exactly.
Yeah, and he can always play b4 when he's ready for counterplay.
So this actually isn't so trivial.
No, it's not. So I wasn't sure in the game what I play here. Maybe I was thinking about this one, and then take on g6 with the rook, so I'm ready to double very quickly, and then try to play knight f4. But it's very concrete. It's not clear if white is in time. Maybe even come back this way and take. But I felt like that was his best option. Another interesting line was knight d7, takes. In queen h7, he has knight f6. And he's holding everything.
Yes.
And I was looking for lines like rook g1, knight f6, rook takes g7, or knight takes e6. I couldn't really make anything work. And then I realized maybe my best move here is knight h3, and I'm coming to g5 with check. Which I thought was cute.
There you go.
And then I take here, and then rook g1, and that's a problem.
Right.
And he has to play knight f6, otherwise knight g5, queen h7.
Yeah.
Okay, so he played eventually what I kind of expected, f6. And now I can take this one and come back and push h5, h6. I think that's good for white. But I took here. This just felt more correct.
Yeah, this feels like the right pawn to be taken.
Yeah, and now he doesn't have knight f5.
Right. Not to mention the h pawn really isn't going anywhere either.
Yeah, I just want to come here and take it.
Yeah.
So he plays queen d6. I think that was best. He really needs to come back and defend. And I brought the second knight in. So I just have this very, very nice construction where I'm just controlling everything. Queen is covering f5, so there's no knight f5. He played knight d7. And here, I think I have a critical moment. So I have to figure out how to break through. I'm already looking at sacrifices. Knight takes g7, knight takes h5, and then trying to get my queen to h6. but it's kind of slow. I ended up playing rook
A1, right?
Rook A1, yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing with the two knights protecting each other with no pawn support. It gets a little bit tricky, I think.
Right, yeah, they can be awkward as well. Yeah, whenever I take on G7, I also have to consider Queen F4.
Right.
Looking at this position now, I'm not sure what the best move was, because I would really like to use this rook here, but then when I move this knight, he has Queen H2 check.
I mean, I guess maybe we can backtrack a little bit. What was wrong with bringing the other knight back to F4? I mean, I know you would rather have both knights in, but I mean, you can always play knight on E2 to G3.
Yeah, I mean, if I do this, I'm more likely to take the pawn because I'm already threatening to take it.
Yeah.
I think this was probably better also because this knight is controlling C3.
Yeah.
So B4 doesn't come with a threat. Looking at this now, this was objectively stronger, I think. Because in the game, I thought I'm going to get some instant sack and win, but it just didn't work. But here I just take, I go back, everything's under control, and then I just rip them open.
Yeah, simple plan.
So probably this was much stronger. But, alright, play knight d7. Sorry, I played here. Knight d7, rook e1, and b4, which I think is right. I didn't want to take, but I felt like I had to. So I'm already looking at this. So, for example, takes, and I think it's not clear if I play knight e6 or knight takes h5, but it just wasn't in time. You can also play rook c3 here.
Right.
And it just didn't, well, the concrete lines weren't working.
I feel like in a position of strength like this, it's just far simpler to go with the most simple moves.
But the thing is that, long-term black will get counterplay because my king is never going to be safe. So I do have to look for some kind of breakthrough. The problem is I can't set up with my queen because he always has knight f5. I would love to just put my queen on d2 first and then sack and then give check and then play queen h6 and it's going to be mate. But he just plays knight f5 and he covers everything. Queen f5 would be interesting, but maybe for another day. Okay, I took queen takes, and again, I wanted to sack here, but I felt like he's fast enough with rook c3. I calculated some lines here. I don't remember them exactly. They're pretty hazy, but it just wasn't working for white.
There's no way to get in with rook e7 at the right moment?
Well, he's still covering it with the queen. But like here, for example, I think he just plays here first.
Yeah, there's no good squares.
Queen d2, and then I thought even a move like rook c8.
Wait, queen d2, rook f3, right?
Oh, yeah, rook f3, of course.
I felt like you have to play queen f1. This is already not so great.
But then this hangs. So yeah, it's just
game over.
Immediately, yeah. So it's always a bad sign when your opponent can't take, but he doesn't even have to. He just has like immediate counterplay. Yeah, and rook f3 is the problem. So I played rook b1, which is probably best. And of course, I'm hoping for him to trade queens because then I get rook b7 and I win a piece because d8 is covered. Right. But he did not. Immediately, he plays queen d6, just goes back, which is best. And here I think I came up with, let's say, 2600 level idea, if I can call it that.
Okay.
Right, so immediately, my first thought was looking for, okay, let's try to bring this rook in and then sack, or king g2 and then sack. And then it wasn't working. He always has like rook b8 and counterplay. Then I came up with this idea. I played rook b2, rook b8, and rook e2. So I've gotten my rook back to defend the knight, so now I'm actually ready to take on h5.
Oh, but now you've also covered the
And I've covered the second rank, so he doesn't get counterplay as quickly.
That's really nice.
And of course I had to chase his queen out because otherwise he had rook c3.
Right.
I actually kind of remember this from the recent game Carlsen played against Aronian in Grenki.
Oh, that was like last week.
Yeah. So Aronian was playing black, had the initiative, and then at some moment he trades rooks and then goes for the attack and he doesn't get enough. And then after the game, he's like, Leiko in the commentary was saying, oh, he should have just played rook b8, keep both rooks, and then attack, just give up the open file. And then he's like, watch, I bet when Aronian comes down here, he'll say exactly that. And then, sure enough, Lev comes to the commentary room, he's like, I should have played rook b8, just keep both rooks on. So I had that idea very, very much in my conscious memory. And here, I think, now I'm starting to get some pressure. Now I'm just starting to take for free, and the knight is defended. Okay, he ended up getting pretty desperate here, and he played knight e5, which fails tactically. But the lines were very, very nice. I think knight f8 was probably the best move. This is what we were analyzing.
More natural.
And I don't think white has anything clear here. Actually, I was also looking at queen b4, and I wanted to play knight takes d5 here, with idea takes and queen f5.
Does this work?
Unfortunately, I don't think so. So if he goes back, I take here, and I think after knight f8, miraculously, he's holding. I thought I was very, very close, but it looks like he's good here. So if I take, he takes, and his other knight is ready to come to g8.
Oh my god.
Not to mention, of course, after I take, he also has queen takes d4, which could make a difference. But
yeah,
maybe king g2, he has no checks anyways. But the main point is that knight g8.
Fits.
I was very excited about this, but it doesn't work. Eventually, I decided if he plays queen b4, I'll probably just either double rooks or do something else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly. It's possible sack was, again, interesting. I think knight f8 was better, and then probably I have nothing better than to take and then put my other knight on e6.
Right.
Or maybe just play king g2 here, actually, just to finally cover this and bring my other rook to e1.
I think arguably, though, your position improves with this trade of knights because you no longer have, like, this awkwardness.
That's true, yeah, I got rid of, like, the superfluous knight. But he has one less defender, and, well, I think the problem is I'm ready to play rook e1, and then his knight on e7 is going to be a big target. And then I'm threatening, like, knight g7 always.
Yeah, of course.
So I think white is still doing there just because his pieces aren't getting in. Okay, in any event, he plays knight e5, which is a good time trouble try where it's move 28. We're both under 10 minutes, so very little time. But I was happy to find just a very clean forced win here. And I would challenge the viewers to see if they can figure out what white should do. It's pretty tough. Although I haven't checked this with an engine, so I don't even know if I have the answer.
Oh, that's no good.
But this is an interesting position to analyze. Okay,
so I feel like you have to look at d5 first.
Yeah, I mean...
You have to look at this first.
Well, I have to, because the queen is hanging. So I took... He takes with the pawn. His idea is that he's hitting this knight, and this knight is
also
losing protection, right? I mean, I can take on g7. King takes... And take here with check, and let's say king goes back. I imagine white here should be doing good, but he has a lot of control over the center, and I don't know, rook f8, e4.
This feels like the kind of position black is okay with considering and the time.
Yeah, without this pawn, black resigns.
Yes.
With the pawn, I just don't see how I'm making immediate threats.
Right.
So then I just found, I just dug deep and I found the tactics. Knight g5. So I save the knight. He pretty much has to take. And rook takes e7.
e7, and now the d5 pawn falls.
Yeah. Okay. Queen and knight are coordinating perfectly.
So that's a fun little remove the defender tactic.
Yeah, but there's still quite a few lines. So right here is the first decision because he can take, or he can give queen c5 check, or he can drop down rook b2.
Right.
So let's say he just takes. Then I take on d5.
Mm-hmm.
Now, king h8, there's actually some cute lines here. Knight f7. Mm-hmm. Now he could take, with idea being if I take back, I get mated.
It is a mate idea. Oh no, this would be one way to lose.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, I have queen h5 check. I take his queen with check.
There you go.
And then my king runs away.
I feel like this is an important line to check before you play this move, because if the details don't work out.
Exactly, yeah. If I don't have that, then not so good.
Although, not to burst your bubble, but okay, after queen takes f7, does g takes f7 work with the idea that you can always play queen d1 and then queen? Does this work? I mean, it's not best, but would it work?
Let's see.
So queen, knight f7, queen f7, g f7. And now the idea is that after rook c2, we play king e1, and if we play rook b1, I play queen d1. And no, because there's always time with rook c8.
No, but even here, actually, takes here.
Rook c8.
Rook e1.
Oh, there we go. And now...
I think this is working.
But I think...
I need one more move.
Rook f8 wasn't a good move, though. He has to play g6, right? Although there's no time. This is just losing. So just barely.
So maybe, this is working.
This would have been a poetic win.
That would be really nice. Yeah, he doesn't have anything else here.
Yeah, of course. The king placement is just so unfortunate on h8.
I know, right?
It feels a little bit like my game yesterday against Alina, where
and my king as well. Yeah.
Well, your king too, but okay, on h8, like it's truly can't move.
Oh yeah.
This gf7 line.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, the g6 pawn, the wedge, is so strong in all these cases. If he takes or if he plays king f8, I also have more ways to go wrong here. For example, rook e1, he has rook check.
Right. I feel like you should start with knight h7, but maybe I'm wrong there.
Oh yeah, I think that was the line. So knight check here. I didn't really calculate this. I feel like the king just gets away. But if I play rook e1 here, he gives check, and he takes on e1. Cold shower. And again, the double rook.
Yeah.
And white is lost. But I think the way for me to win here is how does white win? You can also give queen f5 check. And then play rook e1. Oh no, but then rook b2 is a problem. Yeah.
Is knight e6 check a possibility?
Yeah, this was another move to consider. King e8. And then
I need white's pieces to be in too many places at too many different times. I feel like this is just not enough.
Yeah, I mean, not sure. Even like this, for example, and then my king goes to g3, and his king is very weak. This could be playable. During the game, I definitely thought this was black's best approach because I don't have this rook e1 move. I think there were other options here as well for white, but I don't remember.
I think maybe knight e6 is best because then he'll come in and you play king g3, and your king should be safe enough, I think.
Yeah, I feel like I would definitely take white there. Maybe we're missing something obvious. If we are, let us know in the comments, guys, please. But I didn't have time to figure out what's best for him. I just knew this is probably good for white, and then he'll find the best and let him figure it out. His other option after rook e7 is to give this check, which looks very tempting because then my king is forced. Well, I'm not forced to go to the back rank, but I have rook e2.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
So
yeah, if I had to go to the back rank, I lose. But rook e2, and I keep my extra piece.
So if you go to the back rank, don't you always have rook e1? King f1?
Oh, that's true. But maybe he just takes here or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm already
I'm
already behind. But he threw in this check, which actually makes things a lot easier. King g2, because now my king can always run to h3. He takes, and I take. So now king h8 is the best move, which is what he played. If king f8, I play rook e1. This is the key difference.
Because when he plays queen takes e1, there's no check.
Right.
Like the line before where your king was on f2.
Right.
Oh, this is nice.
He has check, and then takes on e1 with check.
There we go. Okay.
And black is lost.
Yeah.
Because of the mate on f7. Yeah, and knight h7. Yeah, I was very happy to find this line. Because knight h7, none of that stuff really works. Or queen f5, king e8.
Everything runs away.
I think this was why he gave the check, because he was worried that rook e1 was going to be protected by the king. It's possible he didn't see these lines. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense for him to give check, I think, because he thought a little bit, but I think he was worried that the king is defending e1, not realizing that I still have this deflection. Okay, so he plays, here I think he figured it out, so he plays king h8. I come in with check, and king g8. Okay, now first things first, there is no smothered mate, because the queen controls f7.
Right, there's no way to promote this pawn anymore, yeah.
And so I was trying to figure out what's the best discovery. Now, originally, I wanted to play here. Because if he takes,
no, you do.
I do have this smothered mate, which I thought was beautiful. And then if I got this on the board, I would go into the commentary room and join Simon and Fiona and show them the game.
I don't know about you, but I feel like smothered mate is one of those mates that everybody knows. So it's like a threat that always happens on the board, but you almost never see it.
Yeah, people resign or they do something to avoid it, right? The problem is he has queen b7, hitting my queen, and the queen is still covering f7, so knight h6, king h8, and there's no follow-up.
Everything's hanging, yeah. You have to go for a perpetual there, I think.
Yeah, most likely. I assume.
This is a good sign, though. That of course you can't lose.
Oh, yeah, I was a perpetual. I also thought, okay, maybe queen takes h5 and checkmate.
Oh, that would be nice.
But unfortunately, he has rook b2, king h3, and queen e6. No way to get out of checks.
Yes.
With my queen on d5, it's amazing this is covered. so my king is safe on h3.
Right.
So I have to be very careful before moving my queen. Let's see, I considered knight d8 as well, because now king h8, I have queen takes h5 with mate. But king f8.
No rook e1 because...
So rook e1, I think he gives...
He should give a check on second rank.
He gives check and probably rook d8. Yeah, it looks like white has nothing. Queen f5, queen f6.
Or he could have just put rook d8 before too, couldn't he?
Maybe rook d8 right away is also...
This
nothing wrong with
rook.
Yeah. And then lastly, the move I played in the game, knight d6. Again, he has to go to f8, otherwise queen h5. Again, rook e1, check, and he has queen d7.
Wow. Okay.
So all these lines, right?
Yeah.
Finally...
I feel like it'd be so easy to mess this up. Shouldn't time trouble.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have like 5 minutes to figure this out. Finally, I realized that knight can capture rook, and I have queen f5 check. So if he takes, I have queen f5, and I pick up the rook with check, so he has no chances for any counterplay. He has some other tries here. So he thought for a while, eventually resigned because nothing was working. But it's important that rook b2, he has no checks with the queen. And I thought maybe he tries queen f6 here. Minimum, I can trade queens if I want to. But then I realized queen c5 is just winning. So he can't go this way because rook e1, he's getting mated. And if he goes this way, finally I have knight e7 and queen h5. The old Anastasia's mate. So in this position, he ended up just resigning with no moves.
Right. That was a road trip.
Yeah, a lot of lines there, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, especially like once I saw that he can take on f7 and give this like double rook mate, I was like, oh no, what is going on?
Yeah, that was something else.
So yeah, I didn't mention this on the show, but as I was telling you earlier, it's like I feel like tactically I'm firing on all cylinders. Positionally, though, I'm not playing well so far in this tournament. I'm not putting my pieces on the right squares, not coming up with the right moves out of the opening.
I'm sounding like I have the opposite kind of tournament. Yeah. Although tactically my game gets out, like you could argue that was interesting enough. But maybe we need to combine brains tonight and then go into tomorrow's game with a rejuvenated sense of strength.
Yeah, I need to play better. I'm happy to be on 3 out of 4, but I need to play better for sure.
Well, I mean, it's good to notice this now while you're 3 out of 4 later in the tournament and trying to be, where are you? I mean, 3 out of 4 is, you could hardly say it's salvageable.
It's still salvageable.
I think if I had 1.5 or 1 out of 4, then I say, okay, it's still salvageable. So you're doing quite well, I would imagine. So,
right.
I guess tomorrow, the tournament really starts, and we'll get to really learn how well their prep work has really served us. I think up to this point, it's been play kind of on the extremes on both sides. I think I play only 200 points up tomorrow, which isn't too bad, and you're 200 points.
Another
up.
200, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe tomorrow we'll see some flashy upsets.
We'll see. Hopefully, our first upset of the tournament will come tomorrow.
Yeah, so stay tuned. This was round 4. We've got 6 more rounds left, and man, in the U.S. it sounds like a whole tournament left over.
Right.
Of course, here in Europe, we're always spoiled for choice with 10 games. So
yeah.
We'll keep them coming to you. We know today releasing the videos is a little bit weird given yesterday's 2-game doubleheader, but going forward, it should be pretty simple.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, guys.
All right. Well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow, round 5, halfway through the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, until next time.